What's up, tube? It's your boy. Promised you a tutorial a hot minute ago. Finally getting around to it. I'm sorry for the delay. This game's game-breaking bugs just mentally get to me. I had to take a break. Like this black screen display bug that is new you see here. Anyways, today we're going over barrel rolls, backwards barrel rolls, flying sideways, zero flips, you name it. All the Chad shit. I know that's what people want to see. I'm gonna make another video. My third and last tutorial will be about pilot etiquette, how to be a good teammate, all that stuff. But everyone knows that's the lame, boring shit. We all want to impress people, do flips. So here we are. Settings, I've gone over it before, but I'm gonna go over it again in this video so you don't gotta click away. These are my settings and I don't recommend anything other than this, but obviously you can do whatever you want. Field of view is 90. Helicopter sensitivity is 4.0 on mouse. Non-optional absolutely has to be at 4 or you're a bitch. Pitch up is left control, down is space. Roll right is E, roll left is Q. Load construction is 3, unload is 1. Load ammo is 4, unload is 2 for quick and easy Logian supply runs. So something to keep in mind with barrel rolls is you can actually kind of tweak them out and make them your own. You can stay nice and low, you can keep them vertical, you can do L shapes and come out of them in a totally different direction. So it's up to you to make them your own, but I'll give you guys the basics to learn essentially a textbook one, which is going vertical. You're gonna hold, almost looks like you stall, and then you're gonna come out of it nicely and keep momentum. Speaking of momentum, if you're still getting used to the helicopter and you haven't figured it out yet, these things are like flying a bathtub full of water. Essentially is the best way I can describe how it feels. They're heavy, they swing, they have momentum, you gotta slow yourself down. That all comes with play. So, approach on a barrel roll. Right out of the gate, as you're learning, you're probably just gonna wanna get some altitude. In most of my clips, I'm probably just low because I'm used to it. But you want to get a decent amount of altitude along with speed. So knots is going to be important. You're going to want to be going about anywhere from 100 to 120. You'll notice as you raise, I'm not touching my collective, it will automatically slow you down. You're going to need to do the roll under 100 knots from what I find, at least while you're learning. So about that 80 knots is the sweet spot where you're going to want to be, and you're not going to be too fast and you're not going to be too slow. You should be able to come out of it. So once more, but I'll show you the keys this time. You can roll left or right, it doesn't matter, but you want to go the opposite direction slightly first and then slam the roll direction that you want. You'll see right here I hold space and keep holding space while you're in the red. It helps with the roll and it follow through. As you're coming out of it, you're letting go of space right here, keeping the Q or E the roll through, and then letting go of the roll, riding out the wave, and onward you go. Now, I do recommend actually learning this in the Blackhawk or the MI8 first, because it is harder to do them in those than it is the Huey. If you get used to it in the Huey and you go to try to learn it on these, it's gonna just feel way worse. So again, I recommend it that way, but learn as you please. The Huey is definitely more maneuverable. You can actually do a double barrel roll. I've only ever done one and I didn't have it recorded, and I'm sure it looked like shit because you lose so much speed. It's really hard to keep, but it is possible over the next little while. Maybe some of us will figure it out in terms of how to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, again, recommend learning on the Blackhawk first. So now we're gonna get into the zero flip. I call it the zero flip because the first person I ever saw do it was a pilot named Zero on YouTube. I actually have no idea who came up with this first or what the actual name of it is, but that's what I call it. So to learn the basics of that, first you're gonna want to learn how to fly sideways, do side pulls, and fly backwards. Once you're a little bit comfortable with that, a zero flip is you'll probably do it by accident, to be honest, once you're kind of playing around with that. This is a maneuver that all squad pilots should learn and know how to use. Essentially doing these little side pushes like this and using your momentum to shift over. Extremely useful for dodging toes, evading armor, all that kind of stuff in game. Again, why I say that you should have 4.0 mouse sensitivity, so that you can do this with minimal wrist movement and you don't have to fly 10 feet across your mouse pad. Now, to fly sideways, diagonally, backwards is extremely simple. It's as straightforward as it sounds. There's not a bunch of keys you have to press or anything like that. You're just going to be keeping your collective at 100%. I do find flying backwards, though, you do need to have it at a bit of an angle. There is kind of some sweet spots so that you can gain speed. Once you're comfortable with that, you guys can move forward to actually attempting the zero flip. All you have to do is start off flying off axis, and then you're going to force push your heli backwards and around, if that makes any sense, with your mouse. I actually do my zero flip with the mouse. I'm sure you could do it with the keyboard. But again, I have the high sensitivity, so it's really minimal movement for me. Again, you're coming in sideways, left or right, doesn't matter. And then you're actually going to force push the helicopter's nose to the back, as if you're trying to fly backwards. That will bring all the momentum and swing the heli around. Keep that momentum, stick with it. It's going to flip your heli, sometimes real nose heavy. There's different variations of the zero flip, but essentially you're taking that momentum swing and absolutely riding that wave with it. And it'll bring you around, and then you just feather, play with your collective, get a nice landing, and the more you practice, the smoother it'll get. You'd be surprised how well this works for dodging toes and missiles. Again, you mix that in with you desyncing half the time, and you're kind of unstoppable with these maneuvers. So we'll go over the backwards barrel roll now, though. Pretty much exactly the same as a forwards barrel roll, just you're not going to be going as fast. And for the sake of not being as fast, obviously this is a little harder to do in a live server without getting your ass shot down. So not as practical, but hey, you want to pull one out and scare some people, give her. Hopefully the tutorial helped you guys and made your lives a little easier. I know it would have saved me a lot of time having someone explain some of this shit to me, so yeah, hopefully that helps. Now, I'm going to use the last portion of this video to talk about the current state of the game in terms of helicopters and the glitches that some of you guys might encounter if you haven't already. Number one, that seems to be the most common, is the helicopter desync. You see right here. On your screen, when you are flying around, everything looks, sounds, and feels perfectly fine. You will have no idea that you are technically flying like this. In this clip, I am sideways. So if I try to land, your rotors explode, helicopter explodes, you have no idea what happens. It actually scares the shit out of me. It physically makes me jump in my seat because you're expecting a smooth landing. Now, other people in the game can see that you're desynced on the map and in view of your heli. So people can tell you in all chat or over command, hey, you gotta fix your heli. This is how you fix it. You hover, you switch seats quickly with F2 or F3 or something, and you switch back to pilot as fast as you can. Now, that doesn't always work. Sometimes you're just straight up upside down, and when you go to switch, you will be locked, stalled, and you will die. It's honestly extremely frustrating. Again, on your map, you look fine, so there's no way to tell unless people tell you. This can also happen to you 2 or 3 times in a row. In the clip I'm showing right now, it actually starts off with me desynced. I try to fix it right here, and then I actually just become desynced again. Thankfully, guy in admin cam crane there, he's telling me, you know, you're desynced again. This was trying to film the tutorial. This was extremely frustrating how many times this happened. Another glitch you're gonna get is the black display screen. For new pilots, that's a huge issue because that information is essential to you guys. If you're already at Chad status, you're probably not even looking at that shit anyways and just fly off muscle memory and looking out the window. But how you fix that is getting out of the helicopter, shutting it down, getting back in, and on again. Sometimes it takes a few tries, but then eventually the screens will light up and away you go. Another glitch is the F-lock glitch, where you're just completely trapped in the heli and you have to leave the game. You can't get in or out. So yeah, all these glitches are kind of getting ridiculous. Every single update they release, there's a new game-breaking bug with the helicopters. So that's kind of why I took a break, guys. Honestly, it was just really starting to get to me. you're trying to make clips, you're trying to help the team, and no one tells you you're desynced, and you explode trying to do a logi run, and then everyone's freaking out on you, asset waster, blah blah blah. So anyways, it's all good now. I took a deep breath, and I'm back to it. So again, etiquette tutorial should also be coming soon. I'll try to bust that out for you guys sometime in the new year here. And yeah, hopefully one day, maybe in 2030, the developers will fix some of these bugs, and we can actually have like a nice buttery, silky smooth piloting experience. That'd be the dream. So anyways, catch you in the next one, guys. Hope this helped. Right on.